Next up at UFC 268, we have Alex Pereira versus Andreas Michailidis. Alex Pereira, 3-1 in his career, 3-1 in his last 5. Andreas Michailidis, 13-4 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. Alex is a very high-level kickboxer. He's famous for knocking out Israel Adesanya in kickboxing. And if you've been following our channel, you've seen our videos of Alex making predictions in the past. We've had videos sent to us by Alex making predictions, picking fights, and things like that. Because Alex has been training with our buddy Glover in Connecticut for quite some time. Before we dig into the breakdown, I just want to give a quick anecdote. Dan's not here because he's flying back from Abu Dhabi. But Dan did go to Connecticut, I don't know, what was it, a couple months ago, spent some time with Glover, went to Glover's gym, was training with Glover, and put in a few rounds with Alex Pereira. And his takeaway, and you can also get this if you watch the Glover interview we did 2 weeks ago, his takeaway from that was, holy crap, is Alex Pereira strong, and does Alex Pereira have power? And he said it's not even just the power in the striking. Literally everything that guy does is heavy and loaded with power. Dan said he has phenomenal takedown defense. I'm not trying to give away any secrets or ruin anything or talk about what happened in the gym. So I'll leave it there. But Dan put in some rounds with Pereira, said he's absolutely the real deal. I mean, the odds makers think so as well. But the big question mark is, what is Pereira's takedown defense? And Dan sort of vouched for it in real life, putting in a round or two. Alex is exactly as good of a striker as you would expect him to be. He's got great leg kicks, great body kicks, great power. Everything is well-timed, well-distanced. And the big question, as I mentioned, with any of these high-level strikers is, will the takedown defense hold up? What does the grappling look like? All I can say is I know he's got good takedown defense. He's been putting in work with Glover and that whole Connecticut crew. Dan felt it firsthand, vouched for it. He's a hard guy to take down. Andreas Michailidis, he's a decent striker. He's got a grinding style. He'll work his way inside with the big looping overhand strikes. Then he'll try to drag you to the mat. Everything he throws does have a lot of power, but they come from really far away, which will leave openings for Alex to exploit. I got to go with Alex here. The power, the technique, the range, the takedown defense that I've been hearing about. Michailidis isn't even exactly a wrestler. He does grapple when he can, but he's not really a wrestler. So I got to go with Connecticut here. Alex Pereira, Jakey boy. There's no way you're going to disagree with this pick. What are your thoughts?
You mentioned he's not really a wrestler, but he better figure it out, because you're not going to win a striking match versus Pereira. And as you mentioned, it is Adesanya learned that firsthand. You know, what's kind of funny about that is that fight, I think he knocked him out twice, 2 fights.
No, you beat him twice, 1 knockout, 1 decision.
Okay, so the one that he flatlined him, and you see the picture, whatever, it's actually kind of funny because right before that, Adesanya was beating the hell out of Pereira. Like, it was like going in for the finish, and you could tell Adesanya got caught because he was really just laying it. He doesn't do that anymore, obviously. I mean, he learned a valuable lesson, and you might be able to say that Pereira made Adesanya what he is today because, you know, he got a little cocky, a little confident, came in a little heavy, and Pereira caught him and flatlined him. So Pereira is definitely the play on this fight. I worry about if he is in the striking, they might get a little too confident, a little hands down, because, you know, he's kind of a showman in that way. So that's the only thing that might worry me. But if he sticks to the game plan, just does what he does, defends the takedowns, he should dominate this fight. I'm actually kind of surprised that he is at 255 because, you know, Michailidis kind of has a resume behind him, and he is a decent striker. But that last fight versus KB Bowler, you know, we were all saying that Michailidis was just going to run through KB Bowler. KB Bowler shouldn't be in the UFC.
He's not anymore.
And and he was he looked like it was going to be the most lopsided thing you've ever seen. And they went tit for tat with each other. So Michailidis did not look great against KB Bowler. He should have dominated that fight. And now you're moving up from KB Bowler, who's here on striking, to Pereira, who's, you know, top level striker. So this could get ugly. I like Pereira all the way.
Yeah, it's and listen, there is a storied history of these phenomenal kickboxers coming to the UFC and then getting knocked out, because these are smaller gloves. The defense is very different than kickboxing. It is very different. So we have seen that happen in the past. I don't think that'll happen here, because lots of times when that happens, these kickboxers are just like at the way tail end of their career, way over the hill, super old, then transition to MMA. And that's not, Alex Pereira just fought a kickboxing match a month ago. So he is not, he's still actively competing, actively having success. So I like Pereira here. So do you. $9,100. I might spend it just for the knockout upside. We'll see what happens. I do actually like the more on the Mikey Knife Fight strike line. I don't think this is necessarily a 2-second knockout because Pereira is the kickboxing champion. I do think this may go a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think more is probably the play. I think you could see that, but I think it's safer play is probably more.
Yeah, I like the more. I think everybody just assumes Alex Pereira is going to get a wild knockout, and he's got power, but Michailidis is not a bum. He's not a bum. And I was shocked. So we talked about this. Dan told us that UFC signed Alex Pereira before it was announced and told us the opponent before it was announced. And then we talked about it. I remember the first thing we said was like, that's a surprising outing. Like he needs a John Vellante. Give Alex Pereira a John Vellante to showcase his skills. Like Michailidis is tough. The odds are wide, but I'm pretty confident Pereira will get this done. He's obviously doing the right things at the right camp, making things happen. Don't forget, go to wewantpicks.com/bets and make a deposit. We have 3 different betting partners to work with. Grab one, jump in, make a deposit, reach out, let me know after you did, and I will send you $50, however you want it, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All I need from you is your username, screenshot of deposit. I'll get you paid. Thank you very much for the watch. Like, subscribe, do all the things, and claim your free money.